We're gonna get started here just a few minutes early, about 5 minutes early. Let's let some people hop on there. So this is the November 2025 live stream. And I'm sorry these lights are so harsh. It's the really harsh overhead light here. All right, so this was originally supposed to be at 3 p.m. I'm starting this at just before 6 p.m. I had a rough night last night. That's why I'm just now getting started. The guys were up super late, and then once I could finally get to bed, I just absolutely could not sleep. And so it was a matter of, by the time that, if I would have got up and done the stream at 3, I would have had something like 2 or 3 hours of sleep. So I'm still very tired because I haven't had much more than that. I also hadn't eaten all day, and I didn't have time to make anything, so I had to run to somewhere. I went to Wendy's just before coming here, so that I could not be starving throughout the stream. So I guess we can start with that. So starting with that, this is the first drink of the day, just because I happen to have it with me. This is what I'll be drinking throughout. This is Mellow Yellow Zero Cherry from Wendy's, but I do have an actual drink of the day that I'll try out later on in the stream. I figure I'll get through this and then I'll try the other one. So, yeah, it's been a day already, on top of the long night and rushing behind to get ready for this, being 3 hours late. I also, it's also snowing, like full on, incredibly hard snowing right now. It's not the first snow we've had, but I feel like it was pretty much flurries before. I don't know for sure if this is gonna stick, but it's a lot of snow that's coming down. So I guess this is my first real New England snow. Let's see, what else? This month, there's been a lot going on. I've been super busy with work. There has been some stuff that happened, and it's not to me, it's like with the chapter, and I don't think I can like talk about it. I mean, they didn't tell me to, but I don't think I am supposed to. But there's gonna be some changes around the house because of that, and so it doesn't really change anything with me, other than it just creates extra work for me. And so I am already very busy, and now I'm much busier than I expected to be. So I'm going to be dealing with that really through January. When the guys move back in from Christmas break, toward the end of January, that's when like all that extra new stuff will be wrapped up. Hopefully, that's the goal anyhow. What else? I've got a lot done this month on my personal projects. I know I've talked about it before, but one of the things I do is, in the background, just working in general on getting my life together. And the 3 ways that I was measuring that was the number of unread emails, my credit score, and my net worth. And as we talked about last month, I don't know what my net worth is currently. I know I'm doing better financially, but I don't actually know that number until I get to trying out those different softwares to replace Mint. But as far as my credit score, just this month, finally, it is now 670, which is the lowest score that you can have and be in the good category. So I don't remember the last, well, that's not true. I was gonna say the last time that I was in the good category for credit, I don't remember, but that's not actually true, because I had a 694, like right there at the precipice when everything went south. You guys know what I'm talking about. So I'm almost back to that. My goal is to get it to 700, which I won't go into detail with right now, because that'll be part of my, what was the 2026 financial goals video that I'll make in January. because there's a specific reason why I want my credit score high. But the other thing is, other project that I'm working on is the emails. And this is like that boring work that you do behind the scenes that nobody cares about. You know, when I give you guys updates about what's going on in my life, I know a lot of you are like, I don't care that you're going through hundreds of emails a month. And that's probably fair. And it does take up a good portion of my time, and it is boring. But I'm going through all my emails from 2022 and 2023, maybe if I get there, and working my way back. I'm gonna do 2021 as well, with the goal of getting my life together. Because it kind of does two things. One, it works on that number by which I was measuring how messed up my life was the number of unread emails. So it gets through that. It's going through them, deleting them if I can. If it's something I need to follow up on, I can finally follow up 3 years later in most cases. But I am following up with some issues that were unresolved. So I'm getting those tackled. And then it's also helping because you guys know I still have to file my 2021 and 2022 taxes. So since I'm going through the emails from 2021 and 2022, I'm actually finding things that will be deductions and just things that otherwise will make it a lot easier, either more organized or just so that I'm not missing things that I would have otherwise forgotten about and missed when I do get back and file those taxes. So yeah, working on that. And I know it's boring. I know nobody wants to hear me talk about sitting down and spending a couple hours every night going through emails, but the reason that it's important is because it's a big factor in getting my life back together. And I think of it kind of like going to the gym, because, you know, people think it's great that you're in shape. They think that, you know, everything about that is positive, but they don't realize that actually going to the gym is boring. Like, it's something you do 5 to 7 days a week, usually by yourself, and you just kind of do it, and you don't see results every day. Those results take a long time, and it's the same way. Nobody, you know, it would be boring if I just said, hey, I went to the gym every day this month. But eventually, you know, when you notice the changes physically, it would be seen as a good thing. And that's kind of what I'm doing, is the grind behind the scenes. So I'm going to be doing more of that tonight. Currently working on 5 different emails. I have 2 main emails, a Gmail and a Yahoo, and then I have my YouTube email and a couple other things that I'm working my way through. So doing that, getting prepared to get those taxes done, and other than being super busy with work, that's been basically my main focus. That being said, I do actually have one other thing. So I told you guys a couple months ago that I was going to Massachusetts for the first time, and that didn't end up happening. I was supposed to have a furniture assembly gig the day after I did one of the live streams, and that did not end up happening because of something. I can't remember what, but current plan is here in, I believe, 2 days, the guys are going to be leaving for Thanksgiving break. And we are actually officially closing the house. So they're going to be gone, I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we're actually like locking them out. Like, we have electronic locks and we can program them so that they can't get in. So because I don't have to be here, because I'm supposed to be here like 24/7, because I don't have to be here and it's too short of a trip to go home, I'm going to take a trip myself. So back in October, on the last day of fall break, I took the train up to Freeport, Maine, and I went to LL Bean. And this time I'm going to take the train the other direction. For the first time going to Massachusetts, I'm going to be going into Boston, and it's just going to be a day trip. I'm not planning on spending much money. I got a free pass to MFA, which is the Boston's Museum of Fine Arts. I got a free pass, and my plan is to go there, and then I'll get food when I'm in town. Probably not anything fancy. There's a Qdoba right across the street from the train station, so I might just get that. We don't have one here, and I haven't gone since summer, so I might do that. But yeah, I'll get to see Massachusetts for the first time, go to Boston for the first time, art museum, which I'm not super into fine art, but they have rooms that it's all like Egyptian and Roman artifacts, so I'd like that more. I just think it would be something cool to do. So as long as that works out with my break and then Thanksgiving schedule, I'll be going to that. And then I do have my travel planned for Christmas. So our Christmas break starts, I don't remember when it starts, but I thought I was gonna have to go to, home either right before or right after Christmas, and I was worried about the travel costs and everything just costing more, but I've got it figured out. The guys here actually have a really long Christmas break. They won't be back until like the 20th of January. So what I'm gonna do is, starting probably about the 2nd of January or so, I am going to be traveling home in January. The reason being, it's so much cheaper with hotels, rental car, and yeah, rental car. I'm not flying. I am driving to Ohio. I kept thinking about this, and I was like, I drove 17 and a half hours to get here, and I said never again. But then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, 3.5 of those hours was actually from southern Indiana to Columbus. And then it's like 2 hours from Columbus to my hometown, Parkersburg. And while I do need to go to Columbus on the trip, I'll be in Parkersburg most of the time. So I was like, 17 and a half hours, but it's actually 5 hours shorter than that. That doesn't seem as bad. And so I thought about it, and what it was is I was going to fly, but you guys know I was supposed to fly home in August. Part of why my hair is ridiculously long right now. I was supposed to get my hair cut in August, and I couldn't because my flight got canceled last minute. So I was afraid of that happening again, especially when the government was shut down. The TSA line was 5 hours long at Boston Logan, so I was not gonna deal with that. So instead, I was like, well, you know what? I'll just drive. Of course, after I decided I was just gonna drive, the government reopened and TSA's back operational, but I don't know if they're still gonna do that 10% reduction in flights or not, but that was another reason, because I was like, surely, like, my flight got canceled before all that, so like it probably would again if they're canceling flights. I just didn't want to deal with any of that. So what I did is, I have about half of it booked so far, but I've got a rental car booked for a week. It's gonna take me 2 days to get there, 2 days to get back. That gives me 3 days in town, meaning Parkersburg and Columbus. I'm gonna get my hair cut. I'm going to go to the dentist. I'm gonna meet up with my cousin. I have a lot of questions I need to ask her about some stuff, and then I have a lot of errands to run actually when I get home. I gotta go to my storage units too, and do some stuff there. And it gives me the opportunity to, some of the stuff I have in the car that I packed up when I went to Indiana in July of 24 is in the car still, and turns out I don't need it. So I'm gonna have the opportunity to ship that back, and put that in my storage unit. I might be able to bring, actually, yeah, that's a good idea. I have a really nice oil space heater. My bathroom does not have heat, so I would like to bring that back as well. And by having the car, I can do that. But anyway, so I'm gonna bring that back. Um, and it'll be nice because driving home, I get to drive through a different part of Massachusetts from where I'm planning to go next week. Plus, I'll be driving through Connecticut, which I've never been to, and a whole different part of New York than I've been to, cut through the middle of Pennsylvania, which I've never been to. I mean, I've been to Pennsylvania, but like not the middle of it at all. And so it's just gonna be kind of nice to get out of the house since I don't ever drive and I don't ever leave the house, to go on a really long trip, get some stuff done. The trip's taking me through Morgantown, which is my personal hell. Um, but they do have one good restaurant, and the location near my hometown went out of business. So I am gonna stop there and get food. It's Oriza, if anybody knows it. It's like Chipotle, but like Japanese food. Um, anyway, so that's the plan. And let me see here. What other updates do I have for you? Oh, yes. So I don't like to spend money, but I live somewhere that is very cold now, and I basically have no winter clothes. So we've talked about this, I think, every month because I'm trying to at least get the basics of winter clothes. It's a fuzzy thing. All right. Anyway, so I'm trying to get the basics of winter clothes. So far, I've gotten a very heavy winter jacket, which I got an amazing deal on. Buying it used and then turning out it was actually new and still had the tags on it. So that was cool. Then I got boots. I did get my winter boots, and they're not technically proper winter boots, like snow boots, but they're gonna work. So they're muck boots, and they are the mid-height Arctic Expedition, I think. There's several different Arctic types, but anyway, I think it's the Expedition. So anyway, they have some insulationing. They are waterproof. They have like decent traction on them. So I'll see how they do in the snow. And I did get one pair of bean boot socks. Tried them on once. They seem pretty nice. They work well with the muck boots. I'm still planning on getting bean boots, but I'm just gonna wait till spring, until the rainy season, and I'll get them then. The rest of the stuff that I need for winter are, I need gloves badly. I've needed them for a while. It's like usually 20 degrees at night when I leave my office, and I just have to freeze on the way home because I don't have heat in the car. So I am gonna get gloves. And me, as the token southerner, which nobody questions that here. Where I'm from, you say West Virginia and people debate if it's the South, but if you're in New Hampshire, nobody disputes that. So, as the token southerner here, I had no idea that there were two kinds of gloves, and now did you know you're supposed to layer gloves? Because I didn't. But that's the plan. I'm trying to figure, well, it was supposed to be this weekend. Obviously, that's not going to happen. This week, I'm trying to figure out which gloves I'm going to get. I was supposed to buy them a week or two ago, but it was so close to Black Friday that I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to wait till Black Friday and see if they're on sale. But I found somewhere between like 15 and 20 possibilities. Yeah, I've weeded out ones that I didn't like or had bad reviews or whatever. And I've got it down to this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get gloves that are technically liners. I didn't know that was a thing, but gloves that are technically liners that have the E-tips on them so you can still use your phone, because that's going to drive me crazy if I can't. And then I'll see how those go. Definitely going to be better than just raw dogging the steering wheel like I am now. But I'm going to see how that goes. And if I feel like it still needs some kind of of extra warmth, I will get regular gloves to put on top of them. Like I'll layer the gloves. Never heard of that in my life, but apparently that's a thing here. So I'm getting those, and then I'm also gonna get the bottom base layers, like the base layers for the bottom half, because I've got so many layers for my top that, like, while I eventually do want to get a top base layer, it's not a huge priority right now, because I've learned how to layer jackets, which is a whole thing. I didn't know that was a thing, but I've been doing that, and it works pretty well. So I haven't even had to wear the heavy jacket yet, because I've been wearing a fleece. I'll actually show you guys here. Don't ask me why I didn't take the tag off of it. I've just been wearing it this way. But I got this, like, basically for free. It's kind of a long story. Why does this have so much hair on it? That is gross. When your hair is this long, you just shed like an animal. Anyway, it's just a really basic fleece. It's nothing special. But what I realized is I got this basically for free because I had a sweatshirt from Eddie Bauer that I bought last year. I returned it because they have a 1-year return policy. Or I tried to return it. It was this whole thing. I ended up not having to return it. And then they just gave me a gift card for almost the value of what the sweatshirt that I had would have been. And yeah, that's seriously gross. I gotta get all the hair off that. And I don't have an animal. That's me hair. But basically, yeah, so they gave me this gift card, and there wasn't a whole lot that I wanted from their website. And I was just like, okay, well, I don't really see anything I want. I should just find something that's like warm. And I got that thinking that I might not even like it. And I'll say, like, it's not my favorite, but it's so warm. So I've been using that to layer. I've been wearing that and then wearing my heavy jacket over it. And because that's been so warm, I haven't had to wear the real heavy jacket. So I know layered with that, I'm good with the lighter heavyweight jacket until like down to 20 degrees. I'm sure it'll get lower than that later. January's the coldest month of the year here, so I'll definitely have to wear my new heavy jacket, but not yet. But my point in saying all of that is that's why I don't need a top base layer right now. I just need the bottom base layer because I'm wearing jeans, skinny jeans. And I mean, it's just denim and my legs are cold. So eventually I would like to get some corduroys, but I don't know how much that's actually gonna make a difference. And I probably won't have the money for that this year. So instead, I'm just gonna get the base layer. And it's between two companies which one I'm gonna get, but I'm looking into that. And I know the bottom base layers come in like middle, heavy, and lightweight. I'm just gonna go for heavyweight. And yeah, so that's the plan. Eventually I need to get some more either bean boots or more wool socks to wear for when I do have to start wearing my boots, because I right now just have one pair. I'm looking at getting some kind of winter hat to wear as well, especially because the really heavy coat has a hood on it. And if I have the hood up, I want to wear a hat. But those are the basics. And like I said, I'm getting bean boots in the spring. Eventually I'll get some more layers. Maybe next year I'll get an actual nice fleece to layer with. But yeah, things are pretty good on that. I still hate the cold. Absolutely hate it. But I'm trying to learn how to dress myself so that I'm not so miserable. The only downside is learning how to dress myself, and I guess it necessitates spending money, and I don't like doing that part of it. So that's why I'm waiting on sales for everything, by the way. Did also find a couple of hoodies. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but there's a couple different companies that make alpaca hoodies. I thought those might be nice to wear around the house. So I'll look into that as well. But oh, and I think I'm gonna eventually get a pair of Nike joggers. I have the ones picked out that I want, but it's just because when I get to the office, we also have a gym here, and I'm trying to get my 10,000 steps in a day. So like I get on the treadmill, and I come in here in jeans, and it just looks weird if I'm on the treadmill in jeans. But I also don't want to change into like shorts that I have for working out, because it's too cold to be in shorts, even inside. So I feel like if I wore the joggers, no one would think that was weird on the treadmill. But then I could also just like change into them to come to the office at night and wear them around the office and for like when I come home. And that's not weird either. Like I can wear them from the gym and the office, but it takes care of me thinking that I'm weird for wearing jeans in the gym. Okay, so I did want to say we've had a few comments. So it was Jennifer and I think it was Sandra who said they wouldn't be able to be here tonight, which totally fair because I pushed this back. We Who Are About to Die Salute You also commented on a post earlier, and then I see that he has posted here in the live chat. Give me 1 second, make sure that this is on the right chat. For some reason it defaults to only top chats, and I'm afraid I'm gonna miss someone's chat. Okay, so We Were About to Die Salute You says, I'm gonna be watching World News at 6 p.m. But then I should be free to catch up on this live stream. Cool, all right. Sounds good. All right, awesome. Okay, well, so as of right now, we've got 9 people, 1 like, thank you for that, 25 XP on the top fans leaderboard for, what is happening here? That's weird. On the top fans leaderboard for We Who Are About to Die Salute You. My phone is being weird. We're just gonna ignore that. Okay, well, we'll just let it be weird. All right. All right, first things first, if anybody has any questions, anybody wants to know anything, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna try a new feature right now and see if it works. All right, you guys let me know if it works. I gotta do it from the computer over here. Okay, it looks like it's gonna work. This is the new take a break feature. All right, I'm gonna give it 3 minutes. You guys can still comment as this is going. Let's just see if it works. I've never tried this before. Okay, it says break has started. So on your side, you should see a screen that shows that, and I will be right back. Okay, it says break has ended. So let me know, guys. Did you see any screen? There's supposed to be like a screen that goes across your device. I don't see it on my end, but supposedly if I hit that take a break feature, it's supposed to let you guys know that. So we got 14 people on. It looks like people are still just now popping on, which is fine. We were about to die. Salute. You said something about the news, and I didn't even think about that. When he pops on, though, I'll have to ask him what the world news is. You're just gonna have to deal with the water noises up here. Okay. Let's see here. So we've got currently, we've got 14 people on. Basically, guys, I think that's my plan for the next month or so. It's going to be go to Boston next week. December, I'll have the house to myself for around Christmas time and through the first half of January. I'm also going to be going back to Ohio and West Virginia for, not counting travel time, 3 days. And in that time, I'm wanting to run errands, meet up with my cousin, go to my storage units and switch some stuff around, get my hair cut. Thank you for the like. Get my hair cut and go to the dentist, which I still need to get that scheduled. The dentist thing is just another thing in the realm of me getting my shit together again. That's totally, well, initially not my fault that I got behind on getting my cleanings done. That was because of COVID, but there's just been a lot of stuff since then, and I haven't got back on track with it. So I think I'll feel a lot better once I get my cleaning done. And yeah. Okay, we were about to die. Salute says the volume seems a bit soft. I have my computer turned up 90% and my YouTube volume is also up. I know. Okay, Fresh Lights is saying that too. Normally it's Case that has problems with the volume, and normally he's the only one. Let me see here. Okay, that didn't help. I have the option to mute it. I don't think I have the option to, what is this? Oh, we don't need retouch. It's fine. I'm fine without makeup. There we go. Yeah, Fresh Lights, I should. I mean, you know I'm just being cheap, but I really should, because this this ring light has 3 lav mics, like lavalier mics. Yeah, so there's, what I would probably do is probably not get one of those. Well, maybe I would, because I do have something else I'm planning that I might need that for. What I was initially thinking is there's a Rode, I think it's called the Micro Pro, that has a dead cat on it. And there is a soft, you guys can't see where my hand is. It's up here on the top of my ring light. There's a soft mount, cold mount, that's what they're called, cold mount. Oh yeah, lapel mic, yeah. Up here, and I could put that one I was thinking of up here, but you're right, since I'm looking at probably getting, I have another type of video that I'm thinking about filming, and I need a lapel mic for that. So maybe I should just get that. I'll look into it. That's because I'm spending so much money buying winter clothes. I don't know when I would get that. They do come wireless, yeah, that would be helpful. Yeah, if I remember right, the way they're wireless, there's like a little box you wear or something. Like you'd have the mic up here, but then I think it like clips on your belt. But maybe not. Maybe just go to my phone. I don't know. I have to look into it, figure out how to schedule buying it. I am like deep in the red on YouTube expenses for taxes this year. I have been making very little off YouTube, and I have had quite a lot of expenses this year. So I just have to watch that. It's not really a problem to run a deficit, except that, well, you know what? I mean, I am at a deficit, but I just realized that I have about $200 sitting in my YouTube account from the last times that it was paid out, because I was saving that up to buy a computer because I was having problems with the computer at the beginning of the year. And I thought I was going to have to replace it so that I could edit. But now it's fine. It turned out it was just the charger, and I replaced the charger, and now I don't have to replace the computer. So I don't know. I'll look into that. Really, I would prefer the Rode Micro Pro, but you guys are right. Like, because I need it for something else anyway, I should probably just get the one that clips on. Yeah, I actually have 3 cold mounts on this thing. Anyway, so I'll look into that. This is the first stream that anybody's had a problem with it other than Case. And I don't see any way for me to adjust anything on my end. Because the only option that I have live in the stream is just to mute it. Okay. Well, anyway. So, I will look into that for, well, I don't want to say it for next time. I'll see. That's probably a good thing to buy on Black Friday, but I'm not going to have the money to do that. Just because I'm planning on buying the winter clothes for that. But yeah, so that's something I'll look into. And then here's what we're thinking about as far as videos for the rest of the year. I know I posted it on the community tab, but the video that is the 10-year update about my student loans, I am working on it. I'll show you guys, actually. Let me grab it. All right, so like this is what I'm working on. This is the packet of research I'm going through. There's like handwritten notes on everything. This has got like stuff circled. So anyway, this is all the research that I was talking about and why it's taking forever. And the reason for it is like every year that I made one of those videos about updates on like what's going on with my student loans, it's been just for the past year. Because I'm supposed to be making them every year, but with everything that happened in 2021, I didn't make the update video after the last video I made in 2020. What just so happened, so I mean, that's 5 years rather than 1 year, but it also just so happened that during that 5 years, that's when all those changes happened with all the proposed like student loan forgiveness things and all the court cases that blocked that, and the new plans like the SAVE plan and all that stuff. So I'm trying to put it into a timeline where I can just make the video and explain what happened. But it's so much more than usual because it's 5 years instead of 1 year. And then during that 5 years, so much happened with student loans in general, not even just mine. And to make matters worse, those years of 21, 22, and 23 in particular, I was so overwhelmed with what was going on with me in my life, I wasn't doing what I normally do. I have a Google Doc for every year. So it literally is like, it's notes on annual student loan debt video, and then it'll have like the years listed. And it goes from July to July, and then I put any notes in there, any major changes that happened, and I have it all done, and then by the time that I have to make the next video, it's all like right there in front of me. But because I wasn't dealing with anything in my life except survival and my legal stuff going on, I didn't even create the notes. Or there was one year I didn't create it all. There was one that I like made a couple of notes and nothing else. So I have to go back and not only figure out what all happened in my life, but then also all the changes from the government. And I'm putting all that into a timeline so I can say, okay, starting July 2020, when I made the last video, here's everything that's happened up until this point from there. So that is what is taking so long. But most of that is done, and I think I can get it done over Thanksgiving break. Hopefully get that filmed. Hopefully get it edited and uploaded by the first week of December. So that's the video for December. And then of course we'll do another live stream like this at the end of December. There was one more video I wanted to put out this year. It's the one that I told you guys is like different than anything I've ever done before. I have to wait to get this done first. And realistically, we're looking at probably February for that video to be up, because once the end of the year hits, I have 2 more videos that I have to make. Not only am I traveling and I have the guys moving back in January, but I also in January have to make the 2026 financial goals and the review of the 2025 financial goals. So if I'm on top of things, and no guarantees on that, but if I am, you should have 2 videos. You should have 1 video the first week of December, then the live stream, and then 2 videos in January, and then the January live stream, and then hopefully in February, I'll finally get this new style of video out. But yeah, that's the plan, anyhow. That's where things are as far as making videos. I'm also just really overwhelmed with, well, mostly work stuff, but yeah, that's what's going on. And I cannot wait to get my hair cut. Oh my God. It's just so long. I'm getting that done first week of January, so that'll feel amazing. I think I'll probably get my eyebrows done too if I can get the appointment made, and then I'll get my teeth cleaned. Oh, TM USA says, hi Mark, joining late. Hey, I'm glad you could be here. I wasn't sure if you'd be able to make it. Fresh Lights asked, did you clarify about your job contract for next year? So as far as I know, my job will be continuing. My contract is by school year, and it's a little weird because my previous job was a contract. Like, I signed a contract to start a job in August, and then it was through May of the following year. This job has a contract, but it also is not a contract. What I mean by that is they had me sign an offer letter, which was my initial contract. And then every July, they give us a 3% increase for inflation. And that, yeah, and so that's in July. So that's your new contract, and they call it that. But at the same time, it's like W-2 at-will employment. So I do have a contract that goes through May, or actually June maybe, of this year, of 2026. but that doesn't necessarily like mean that I would be here, for sure. Anyway, so my contract for when you say next year, I'm already covered through May or June of 2026, but in probably June or July of 2026, I'll get a new offer letter, which would be with that 3% increase. That'll put me at 38,000 something with the 3% increase. And then I should, yeah, so this year it was during, I want to say it was July 12th I signed the contract. It was during our summer conference. So that'll be there, hopefully. They do also have a bonus structure for us, and I have no idea how it works. So I might get a bonus. I don't know. I don't know what they're for or what I have to do to get them. So, yeah, I'm not sure about that. But yes, so as far as like, I'd say the first half of 2026, I'm good. Now for next school year, yeah, I mean, there wouldn't be any reason for them not to offer the contract because it is like continuous W-2 employment. Now I did say that there are some changes that are happening between now and when they move back in January, but that shouldn't change anything for me. It's some changes with the chapter, and there is, I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you guys this part, but there's a very good chance that the fraternity that I'm working for now is not going to be the fraternity living in this house next fall, starting in August. That doesn't change anything with me. I'll still be making the same amount. Well, actually, I'll be making a little more, but my job doesn't end because the fraternity still owns this house. So even if a different fraternity is living in the house, like my job still continues. TMUSA says, "Are you ready for a New England winter?" Well, no, but it is currently snowing. It has been getting down to the 20s at night, and no, I'm not ready. Okay, so I'll tell you guys, I did start taking vitamin D supplements. I don't really do medicine or anything. It's the D2 plus K3, I think, or maybe it's D3 plus K2. I don't know, but anyway, it's a supplement. Started taking that because I was already feeling the seasonal affective. Anyway, I don't know if it's a placebo, but I feel like a little better since I've started taking it. So that's part of it. I'm still working on possibly getting a sun lamp. That's another thing where it's like, do I want to spend the money on that? As far, and I said this earlier in the stream, before you got here, but as far as getting ready for winter, I have winter coat, winter boots, and one pair of winter socks so far for like wearing with the boots. This month I'm getting the lower, like the bottom base layer, and gloves. I was supposed to order it like 2 weeks ago, but it was so close to Black Friday, I was like, I can just stick it out until then and see if they're on sale. So that's the plan. It's between two companies right now for the base layer, and between maybe like 15 to 20, was it like 15 to 20 companies and like types of gloves that I found that I like. So I've really got to sit down and figure that out this week so that I can get them on Black Friday, of like which exact ones I'm actually going to pick out of all the ones that are available. So, but I've got at least like options, and I've got some brands and styles narrowed down. And with this, I'm actually getting two. I'm gonna get what they're calling liners. I didn't know that was a thing, but like getting the liners now, because I right now don't have any gloves. And then if it gets worse, if those aren't enough, like in the winter, I'll get bigger gloves to layer over them. You asked, oh, are sun lamps safe for your skin? Uh, in the sense that, like, yes, if okay, so like yes, if you limit the time that you're exposed to them, but you do have to wear like facial sunscreen if you're gonna do that, which I don't have, but I will get. That was another consideration. Is if I go that route, I'm also gonna have to figure out the sunscreen. Um, I do not nearly do skincare the way that I should, like, like facial skincare. Like today, I used face wash when I was in the shower. I do it in the shower because it's just a disaster otherwise. I get it everywhere. But so I used face wash, and then the only other thing that I have on right now is it's an eye serum. It's like in a roll-on thing. I don't even have moisturizer on, which I know I should use, but like I'm really bad about it. Now I could use the moisturizer, especially if I'm gonna go on camera. I was just in a rush today, but the moisturizer I have is ultra matte, so like you guys can see, like this is just what I look like. Like my skin's not really, it's actually not really oily right now, but it always has like a little sheen on it. And if I'm wearing the moisturizer, it does away with that. That said, the company that I usually use their products for my skincare, they haven't created one yet, but they're in the process, they said, of creating a sunscreen. So I kind of want to see what theirs is like when it comes out. I may or may not get it, but just because some of their products I love and some of them I don't at all. But I'll see about that. I have two brands that I found probably last year, but I haven't saved on my phone, that I can use otherwise. They're facial moisturizer, or no, not moisturizer. I had a hell of a time finding a sunscreen for guys that was not a moisturizer, but because I already have a moisturizer, I didn't want to also have a moisturizing sunscreen. So they are non-moisturizing, non-comedogenic sunscreen facial for men that have at least a minimum SPF factor. And I was trying to get them with the Korean sunscreen rating. That's like I think it's like P rating with a bunch of pluses after it. Anyway, that stuff gets really complicated, and I was trying to learn all that stuff. But I've got two options. One is a little bit better than the other. One is from a brand called like Hans something, and the other one is like some brand I've never heard of. But for all the things I was looking for, they're like the best. Yeah, I suppose part of getting my life together too is like probably going to be to start using skincare better. But not that that's like a normal thing that guys do, but I should. The other thing is on Black Friday, one of the companies that I get skincare products from, it's the cheaper one, but some of their products are actually better than anything else I found. It's Anthony Logistics for Men, and I'm almost out of Kind water. So normally for Black Friday, they do a buy one, get one free thing. I also use their shave gel. So I'm probably gonna wait. If they did the buy one, get one for Black Friday, I'll buy the Kind water and then I'll get shave gel for free. I'm gonna try to do that. But I know it's mostly guys that watch the channel, so I have no idea if anybody's gonna know what this is, but what they call Kind water is micellar water. Hopefully somebody knows what that is out there. But The reason I do that, I have no problem washing my face in the shower in the morning, but I know myself and I will not wash my face at night. And so as a way to get myself to like get somewhat better with that, I just kind of compromised with myself and I'm like, okay, you don't have to wash your face at night, but you have to use this cotton round and the micellar water. And it does pick up a lot of dirt, like at nights. So, ideally I'd probably put moisturizer on after that too. I don't, but at least I'm washing my face. So there's that. I know that's not much. I know that probably sounds gross, but I honestly think that's better than most guys do. So I think it's okay. But always strive for better. I'm not. This is all natural, other than this, because like I said, I did put some like a roll on, but I'm not using any anti-aging stuff or anything like that. I did intend to start. That one brand that I use has a night serum, and I had originally planned, because it's expensive, and I was planning on buying it over Black Friday, but they must be out of it because it's not on the website anymore. So I guess I won't buy it on Black Friday. But that one's kind of a pain in the ass because it's a retinol, and then because it's a retinol, then I have to deal with wearing sunscreen as well. If I'm doing a retinol. So, yeah, that was a very long answer to your question, but I think as long as you limit your exposure and when you are exposed to it, you're wearing sunscreen, then yes, I think I think sun lamps are safe. I don't know. I need to check around here. I know in Ohio, one of the libraries has one set up in the library where you can just sit in the chair there and use it. And then they have like a one you can check out too to take home with you. I would think if Ohio has it, somebody around here would have it as well. But yeah, I don't know. I almost, before my car started doing the thing it's doing now with the hood, I was looking into pricing. There's a sauna. It's like a sauna club. You buy a subscription and you can go monthly. I actually thought about that. It's within the realm of where my car can drive without overheating, but it's my car does this thing now where the hood flies up, and I haven't figured out a permanent solution to that yet, but because it does that, I just don't take it on the highway. I can't drive it over 40. It's usually between 40 and 45 where it pops up. I don't know why it's doing that. It just won't latch on the second latch. Like, it doesn't fly up all the way, because there's like the main latch and then the safety latch, and the safety latch always catches it, but then I'm like, okay, well, what then if that breaks too? Oh, thanks for the super chat. There it is. Okay. Ashy Fox says, "Wow, Mark, looking good. How have you been?" Well, thank you, because I was just complaining about how my hair is too long. So I'll be honest with you guys, ever since May, I've been just kind of a little off course, because I got kind of surprised. Basically, my boss quit in May, and a lot of stuff fell on me to do, which I wasn't expecting, and that put me behind, and I've been kind of perpetually behind since then. So there all summer and really until now, even now really, there hasn't been a moment where I've just kind of like been able to sit back and relax because I have everything done. I'm always behind on stuff. So that's kind of still where things are, and because of that, like, I haven't really done anything but work. I've just been working all the time. I mean, I'm working on a lot of personal projects too, like getting through my old emails and planning my trip home in January, things like that. But yeah, beyond that, pretty much just been working. And I mean, I guess the good part of that is with working, I'm making money and I'm slowly getting stuff paid off and putting money aside for stuff, whether it be um, savings or like retirement or whatever. But I mean, I am contributing to that stuff as well. So appreciate the super chat. Actually, let's check real quick. That might have put you. Oh yeah, that put you in first place for top fans for the stream. Yeah, as far as earning XP, like you can earn by commenting, I think by liking the video, but then also super chats put you up there too. So right now we have Ashy Fox in the lead at 250 XP. So that's kind of where things are. I am holding out right now for the rest of basically for the rest of the year, for the rest of the semester, because I have a lot to do, but at the same time, I want to somewhat enjoy the holidays. Like for Halloween, and that's my favorite holiday, I did take just enough time to watch the Harry Potter series through, because I'd never actually seen all of them, I think. So now I at least understand the storyline, but usually I take time and I like watch Halloween movies. I think I did watch Hocus Pocus as well, but I mean, Thanksgiving's not so much a time as like watching movies. There's not really Halloween, or there's not really Thanksgiving movies, but definitely after that and like toward Christmas time, I want to pull back a little bit and take some time and even if I am behind at work, relax more, and probably a lot of that would be watching Christmas movies, and I'm okay with that. So, oh, okay. So John says, what are your general plans regarding retirement? Do you have a target retirement age? So, I have an idea of retirement, but I don't fall into. I definitely am not doing traditional retirement. And I know a lot of people are into things like FIRE, like financial independence, retire early. I definitely want to be financially independent, but I don't know if there's such a thing as like FERN, because like financial independence, retire never, because I don't plan on retiring. At some point, I would like to not be working a job, which I guess is what you would call what I do at the house. But like, say if I'm doing YouTube, like I don't consider that really working, even if I was making a full income from it. Like I like doing this, and so that would be fine. I plan on having a business, which I mean, I do technically with YouTube, but I also have a business with furniture assembly, which right now I'm not getting any leads for, but when I do, I have a business with that. So I would have money coming in from a business, even if I'm not actively the one going out building furniture. And then also, I mean, I do plan to buy rental properties and have somebody manage those for me. So I'll have income coming in from that too. So by the time that, well, I'll put it this way. What basically I think is going to happen is that I'm just going to continue through the years to be in a better and better financial spot where like all of my student loans are paid off and therefore I can live on a lower income. YouTube, I'll be making more from that at that point. So that'll be more money coming in plus lower expenses, and that kind of closes the gap somewhat. But then also, I am going to be living essentially off investments, if you consider like real estate an investment, as well as money that comes in from both YouTube and furniture assembly and from anything else. Because once I am like retirement age, then I'll also have like Social Security. And, but yeah, basically what I would do is I would really never ever retire. Um, I'm always going to have a business or real estate or something, and I'm just going to have people manage it for me, where it's me just like more checking in about like what's going on and getting updates on it rather than actively participating. And then, yeah, so I guess that's the point. I'm just not really planning on retiring, but yet I'll still have like I have my IRAs, I have my 401k. I do contribute to my 40. I have a Roth 401k through work. I have both a Roth and a traditional IRA at Vanguard. I have a traditional IRA at Fidelity, which I contribute to every paycheck. So probably tiny amounts from those. I also have Ohio's state employee retirement system, which has an entire $60 in it. So eventually that'll come out of there. Plus, yeah, plus anything else basically that comes from there. I mean, I'm kind of in this weird spot where I have to get some of this debt off my plate so that I can focus on the things that will end up making me much more money than a job in the long term. Whether that be, like buying a rental property and house hacking, or just being able to spend full time creating on YouTube. Because it's not that I can't be successful on YouTube, it's just that I don't have time to make any content because I'm working all the time. And if I was able to make content, I would be able to grow the channel to a point where I can make enough income to live off of. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's my best answer right now, is that I'm just not planning on retiring. So, but I also am not planning on working a traditional job. I will have, within 5 years, I will have almost all of my debt paid off. You guys will see that more. We'll talk about it more in the financial goals video that'll be up early January, reviewing all of 2025. But I can show you like where I'm at with my student loans, and with everything else. But yeah, most of my debt will be paid off soon, like within the next few years. So my problem now is really just increasing my income. And I mean, like, in general, increasing my income would be nice, but since I'm not trying to work a regular job for a long time, I'm not really focused on that part of it. I'm more looking at from like YouTube or other online sources and the furniture business. But I mean, in the meantime, I don't mind doing the building furniture. I mean, I'm doing that because I like it, but like also bringing on people to do it as well. Plus, I have this whole plan. I'll have to tell you guys about it later. But I have a whole plan about how to bring furniture assembly online as well, so that I can make money online from furniture assembly. But that's way off in the future. We who are about to die. Oh, and so John, to answer your other question, do you have a target retirement age? No. I would just say by 45, I'll have all my debt paid off, and then I'm fully focused on just creating income. So I would say by 50, maybe. By 50, I should be completely retired by like most people's definition of it. So I guess I did retire early, even without trying. We Who Are About to Die Salute You says ABC World News with David something. Comes on at 6 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. Wait, Saturdays and Sundays. It comes on at 6:30 on Monday and Friday. Monday through Friday. You can watch them on YouTube. From the day before. Found out one day, since I travel for work, and may miss them from time to time. I don't watch the news. There was a point in time where I would watch mostly like The Daily Show and The Colbert Report, but I don't know. Oh shit. Especially during the scooting closer here. Especially during the 2016 election. I think that's when I stopped watching that, because they were just so, how do I say that? Like, I want to say offensive, but that's not really the right word. They were like so clearly biased. And so that's when I stopped watching that stuff. I actually don't watch any news now. I get most of my news from TikTok. That's generally where I first hear of something. Either that or on Facebook from one of the accounts I'm following. So I guess I don't really watch the news at all. And if I watch any coverage of anything, it's because of like one of those things posting. But I can't stand local news. I mean, I know you're watching a national news, but like, I don't even know if we have a local TV station here, but I know back home the coverage was always terrible. So I don't know. I don't know. I just haven't watched TV in such a long time. I want to say it was probably like a year and a half ago last time I watched TV. Not just news, but like at all. I mean, like, you know, I watch YouTube and stuff like that, but not like actual TV. What is this? Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah. So sorry, I'm kind of spacing out. I told you guys I got like 3 hours of sleep. So yeah, I don't really watch any kind of news. I get enough updates, I guess. And everything on the news is bad anyway, so I just kind of don't watch it. But I mean, my parents, my grandparents, they all did that. Of course, they also read newspapers. Don't even know if there is a newspaper around me. I've never seen one. But anyway, that's just kind of where that is. I don't know what's going on with stuff right now. So I'm trying not to get political. That's like why I'm holding back. So I'm just like thinking about stuff, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to find any kind of unbiased news source. And so, and it could be both ways. Like one will be like too far one direction, but then the other one will be too far the other direction. And I just get upset that they're like representing things in a way that's not really true. And I just feel like I shouldn't have to try to see through that, I guess. So I'm pretty up on everything that's going on, but I don't get it from watching the news. I don't know anything about ABC though, so I don't know like where they stand with stuff. Okay, guys, I am almost out of this, so I'm gonna go grab the other drink. I'm gonna put you guys on a 1 minute break, and when I get back, you guys will have to let me know if it shows up on your screen. It's supposed to be like a weird AI generated art thing that is like a picture or something. Okay. Let's start break. Okay, I'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, I am back. All right, still 13 on. Thank you guys for staying. So, official drink of the day is Diet Coke Lime. All right, John. Yeah, actually, I need to get on that. I'll let you know after I try this. So, last live stream that we did, October, I had 2 drinks as well. This was the second one, and I didn't get back to it. I don't know if this is a new flavor or if this is supposed to be retro or something. It says limited edition, and I got it at 7-Eleven. But I suppose it's just Diet Coke with lime. I was looking to see why the bottle's white. I don't know, but let's give it a try. It smells like lime Skittles. Okay. I mean, it definitely has a lot stronger lime flavor than Coke. It's okay. Yeah, I would say I could probably tone the lime down a little bit, but I'll drink it. All right. John, to answer your question. Okay, you said nothing came up. All right. I still not figured out. I swear it's every month, they make changes to the live stream stuff. And most of the time, they don't even tell us there's an update until you try to go live and everything's changed. And then when they do tell you there's an update, there's no way for you to test it out. Okay, TMUSA says it went to an ad and then to your empty chair. So the ad, I don't know if that was triggered by me taking a break or not. It might have been, but because I have the ads just set automatically, just however YouTube decides to do that. But yeah, okay, then to my empty chair. Okay, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so when they do tell us there's an update, there's no way to test it out before you go live. So even when they do tell us, it's like I have to go live and then try it out live in order to figure out how it works. But the way it's supposed to work is if I hit take a break, it's supposed to actually stop. Like, I can still see you guys on my phone that I'm using to record on, but on your end, it's supposed to show this weird, it's like this AI generated picture of like I don't know, it's like an empty room with a desk in it, and you can change it to something else, but that's the default one. Anyway, so John said, have you planned your Thanksgiving meal yet? No, and I actually really need to get on that because Thanksgiving is soon. As well as trying to figure out what gloves I want and what base layers I want because I have to buy them on Black Friday. So I need to take the time to do that this week. The other things that I need to do are, well, yeah, figure out the holiday meal. Now this is why this is a little bit difficult because I live in a town that is very small. And in fact, we have one fast food restaurant, it's Subway. And there's just nothing here. So also with the problems that I'm having with my car, I can't drive it super far. So pretty much the main option is gonna be Dover, which is like 5 miles away. Now, normally what I do for Thanksgiving is I do Bob Evans, because on Thanksgiving Day, Bob Evans has these holiday plates. They used to do them for Christmas, but they don't anymore. But they'll have like 2 or 3 different meals you can choose from, and they're all put together and served to you hot, and they're all to go. I don't think they do them in store, but I always do those. And then yeah, even last year I did that. Even in Indiana, I went to Bob Evans. But we don't have a Bob Evans here. In fact, the closest one I think is in New York. And I thought, well, maybe I could do IHOP because they're usually open on all the holidays. But the closest IHOP is in Rochester, which is too far for my car to go. Especially considering I have to drive the food back to my house and eat it. So I'm not sure. Because then I was like, okay, so last year I also got that Thanksgiving DiGiorno pizza that apparently was like a limited edition. I didn't know that. I just happened to live in the test region for it, I guess, when I was in Indiana. And I'll say that wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. But it was a DiGiorno pizza with like gravy instead of sauce, and then like a mashed potato thing instead of cheese, and then it had like green beans, cranberries, and turkey slices. So I was looking at other places that have Thanksgiving options, And Firehouse Subs, they have a Thanksgiving sub. But again, there's no Firehouse Sub anywhere remotely close to here, like 100 miles or more. And then there is a place. Okay, so there's a local Massachusetts-based pizza place called Papagino's. And they have like a little sub shop there that's in the same building. And I can't remember what it's called. They do have a Thanksgiving turkey sub. The only thing is I just don't know if they're open on Thanksgiving. So I guess the answer to your question is I have no idea what I'm doing and I need to figure it out. Yeah, so if anybody lives in New Hampshire and knows what I can do for Thanksgiving, let me know, because I need to figure that out. Especially if you're familiar with the local places. I'm really just looking for someplace, preferably that I can just get something hot to take home with me. That's within a maximum of 7 miles of Durham, New Hampshire. I could make it to Portsmouth if it's going to be iffy with my car. I could make it to Portsmouth if it's something over there, but Dover would be better. I can do Newmarket. I can do Lee if I take the back roads. But yeah, I just live in the absolute middle of nowhere. So yeah, pretty much that. I gotta figure it out. And then for Christmas, I'm gonna have to figure out Christmas dinner too, because it's gonna be the same situation. There's just, I don't know what's open, and then the places that are open don't necessarily have like a Thanksgiving meal. Because, oh, well, okay, so I said the only restaurant we have in town is Subway. We do also have Domino's, which I'm pretty sure Domino's is open on Thanksgiving. But they don't really have Thanksgiving food, they just have their normal menu. So I don't know, I'll figure that out, I guess. Let me know if anybody has any ideas on that. I know also on the holidays, a lot of times like Chinese places are open. I have not been able to find decent Chinese food here. Every place I've tried has just been mediocre at best. I guess from what I've read online, New England Chinese food is like different than the Chinese food that you get in the rest of the country. And I'm not saying better. Like around here, they all say that, you know, they miss the New England Chinese food because they can't get it anywhere else in the country. But like nothing I've had so far has been very good at all. Although I do understand Adam Sandler now, because he's from New England. He's actually from he's actually from New Hampshire. And if you guys have ever seen the movie 8 Crazy Nights, it's like an animated movie about Hanukkah. There's a scene where he keeps going and getting scorpion bowls at this restaurant. I've never in my life heard of a scorpion bowl, and I am pretty well versed in Chinese restaurants. And anyway, all the ones here have them on the menu. So that must be one of those New England Chinese things. Okay. Hart's Turkey Farm Restaurant. I have never heard of that place, but I'll look it up. If it's in Durham, I can get there. Takeout for one available. So, okay. I didn't even realize that was a thing. So yeah, we'll I'll look into that and see. Here, oh yeah, I see that. They've even got. It sounds like they are doing like a Thanksgiving plate. That would be perfect for me, and that's probably actually going to be a lot better than whatever Bob Evans would have. Which, I mean, Bob Evans is good, but this sounds like this is like homemade. Uh, let's see. I'm just gonna pin your message so that I can see it later. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, good. I mean, that might have resolved that, so I'll go. And I realize it's probably going to be pretty expensive because I think it's $18 per person at Bob Evans. So I expect it here a lot more. I can tell you it's $25 for a foot-long sub at Subway here. That is, everything is cheaper here except for a couple things. Look fast. The site says all is sold out except individual meals are still available. Okay, I'll do it tonight. I can't do it while we're on the stream, but I'll do it tonight. That's good. And yeah, as long as it's in Durham, I can get there. There is one weird thing about this area. I don't know if it's New Hampshire or like New England in general, but like where I'm from, everywhere I've ever lived, there's like the state, and then the state has counties that divide it up. And then within a county, you can be in a town if you're in like, you know, a more urban environment. That's not the way New Hampshire is, though. It's weird because when somebody says that, for example, they live in Durham, do they live in Durham or do they live in Durham? It's confusing. So I live close to, well, I live in Durham, but I live close to Madbury. Madbury is also a town, but it's literally like 5 buildings at a crossroads. But there is like a region defined as Madbury, and it has town signs. Like when you pass into another region, like there are signs there, but it's not a town. It's completely rural. So it's almost kind of like townships in Ohio, except they're not townships. And when somebody says something here, like if they say they live in Dover, or they live in Durham, or they live in Madbury, I always think they mean they live in town, but that's not what it means here. And nobody draws the distinction. So if you say you live in Madbury, I think you live in one of the 5 houses at the intersection, because that's the town. But then it could be that they're in the region of Madbury around that. My brain is just not wrapping around this whole thing, or like why people don't make that distinction between like town and the other type of thing. There's not even a word for it. But yeah, anyway. John said, I've been considering doing some temporary work over the holidays. Have you thought at all about doing temporary work over the break? Yes, and I probably will. So I have been having an issue with, well, my main source of extra work would be TaskRabbit. I've been having an issue with them. It's a lot to go into, but it basically has to do with the way their algorithm works. See, I am in the Boston metro, and so I'm in an area that TaskRabbit services, but I'm on the very outskirts, and so because of that, there's not a lot of demand. Now, I could draw my service area. So even though I'm in the Boston metro, that doesn't mean I can work everywhere in Boston. You have to draw an area on the map, which is far smaller than the whole area. And from that area, or from the area you circle on the map, that's where you can get leads. Well, so if, say, I was open to doing work where I live currently or down in Boston, I can't do that. I have to choose one or the other. But I have tried putting myself down in Boston, and I haven't gotten any leads at all. That doesn't seem right. But I do know that part of the problem is that with TaskRabbit, you have to set your rates really low so you can start getting hired again. And then you start gaining in the algorithm, like in the rank, so you're seen more by the number of jobs you completed, which would be totally fine if I could do the local jobs. But because Boston is an hour drive away, it doesn't make any sense for me to drive there to do one job. Because if I have to lower my hourly rate, let's say lower it to $25 an hour, and I do a 2-hour job, that's $50. But it's gonna cost me $100 plus gas to get a rental car to do that job. And that's if I can get Enterprise to actually pick me up, which they don't always. Otherwise, I'm also gonna have to pay for an Uber there to Enterprise and back. So we're probably looking at that point, close to $200 to make $50. So that's why I can't just take those small jobs to get back into the algorithm. And then there is a job board on TaskRabbit where if it's not assigned to you, you can just grab them and you can do them. But it won't let me grab any off there anymore. And I talked to support and they told me it's because I haven't done any jobs for a while. And so I have to complete, I don't know, they didn't say a number, but like some jobs before it'll let me do that. And I'm like, but it's right here. It's right in the town next to me. And you don't have anybody else lined up for it. But they won't let me do it. So I can't get leads that way either. Every once in a while, I'll get leads from Nextdoor or Facebook, but none of them have turned out. It's people being weird, like saying, I need you here today. Like that's not how any of this works. Or people that'll say like, I have this, it'll only take an hour to build. Well, you don't know that, and no, it won't, because each item takes at least 2 hours. And they're also wanting me to travel down to Boston for 1 hour of work, and it's just always stuff like that. I did have, in the last year, I've had 2 leads through TaskRabbit. One was a furniture assembly gig in Portsmouth, which I absolutely would have done. Totally was planning on doing it. That was back in May. Guy canceled on me last minute. And the way TaskRabbit works is if the task is not completed, even if it's the customer who cancels it, it still counts against you. So then I get pushed lower on the list to be chosen from, because he canceled. So I was already having trouble getting work before that. The other one was some dude also wanted me to go, well, it was like Portsmouth, but it was like the main side of Portsmouth. But he wanted me to set up drones for his light show under furniture assembly. I'm like, what? Like, it was a place where it would be difficult for my car to get to anyway. But I'm like, what? This is not furniture assembly. So those are the only 2 leads I've had. And when I set my map to Boston, I got absolutely nothing. Now the thing is, you can also kind of jump ahead in the algorithm by turning on same-day tasks. So if you don't have any currently, like if you don't have anything booked currently, you can turn on same-day tasks and hope somebody needs somebody right away, and you can go there that day, get the job done, and then that helps you move up in the algorithm because there's just a lot fewer people who are available same day. But I can't do that again because of the car. I can't drive that far. And if I have to rent a car, it's like a whole ordeal to either get Enterprise to pick me up, if they even have cars available that day, and then it's a whole thing. So anyway, what I am planning on doing is 2 things. Over winter break, I am planning on advertising more on Facebook, more on Nextdoor, and I'll open up my schedule on TaskRabbit and try that. I think more than likely than not, I probably will not get anything. Um, but yeah, maybe I'll get something. And then for that week that I have the rental car, I'm gonna try to do DoorDash and Instacart. Although, if you know anything about that, most of the time, most of the things you get sent on there don't make sense to do. So it kind of depends. It's like, where am I going to stop for the night? Because it takes 2 days to drive home. Once I get home, am I going to be able to grab hours? Because I can't schedule hours in a certain region until I'm physically in the region. So I can't even plan ahead for that. Are there going to be any available? And if there are there going to be any decent orders? Parkersburg? Almost certainly no. Parkersburg has just the worst orders I've ever seen on DoorDash, like consistently. It'd be like $2 for 27 miles and things like that. I mean, if I get into Athens, maybe, but then the students aren't going to be there, which means it's probably going to be dead. When I'm in Columbus, better chance I might get something. So maybe in the day or so that I'm in Columbus, maybe I'll have something there. But I mean, if I do make any extra money, it's going to be very little. I would love to make extra money. It's just not really been possible. Combination of not getting any leads for furniture assembly and not being able to do with the car. I can't do like DoorDash or anything. And then being consistently behind at work. I've been having to focus on that even in the evenings when I go to the office rather than being able to try to find something else. Because I'm also on, I think it's called Reflex, and it's picking up shifts for retail, and because it's like close to Black Friday, there's a lot of them right now. A lot of them are like Vineyard Vines, Ralph Lauren, places like that. They pay about $150 a day, and it would be nice to pick some of those up sometimes, but transportation's an issue, so I don't foresee that being something I could do. All right, I'm gonna put you guys on a 3-minute break. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I wanted to check on something. I actually have my work iPad here. I was gonna check that, that thing from TM USA. She was telling me about what's that called? The Hart's Turkey Farm Restaurant. Meredith, New Hampshire. Never heard of that. It does say $20 to $30 a person, so. Okay. I'm just bringing up Google Maps here to see where this is. Daniel Webster Parkway, Laconia. Oh, whoa. Okay, that one. That one's over an hour away from me, so I definitely can't do that. Unless it's a different one. Okay, no, that's the only one I'm finding. Yeah, I'll just have to look. I'll just have to look and see what other places around have it. There might be something like that, like more locally, because there are a lot of farms surrounding towns, like town, and a lot of them do have gift shops or like little produce stands or something. Never been to any of them because you guys, again, you know I'm cheap, so I don't go eat at the restaurants here because they're all very expensive. But yeah, I'll have to look into that. Another thing. Oh wait, Fresh Light says, do you still have advertising on your car that used to pay something? So I don't. I had a year-long campaign from August of 2023 to August of 2024. And that was for Udo, which is it's supposed to be an all-in-one business management software, but they their biggest things are CRM and website development. So think of it as like Salesforce and Squarespace put together. But I have that taken off. So it took me forever to take it off. I actually just took it off this year, so I had it on there for like an extra year. Just, where I'm at with my life, it takes me forever to get caught up on things. So I did finally take that wrap off my car. My car is now just like a normal car. So yeah, that campaign ended. I am not actually able to get my car wrapped for that kind of thing anymore. My car has a lot of body damage, and they did tell me, like last time I did, they're like, you're gonna have to get this thing fixed. And obviously that hasn't happened. Plus, I would have to wait till one of the campaigns is available in the Boston market, and I'd have to physically drive to Boston to get it done, which I don't want to say is impossible, but it would be my car can only drive maybe a max 10 miles at a time before it overheats. I could physically get it to Boston, but it wouldn't be worth it. It would take me multiple days to get there and multiple days to get back. And it wouldn't be worth what that advertising is paying. But I mean, if I find, probably not that, but like, weird little things like that to make money, if I find things like that along the way, I'm open to doing them. Speaking of ways to make money, or maybe ways to save money, so I've had the same dentist for like 10 years now, and as I've moved around the country, I've just stuck with that place, because I've never moved anywhere long enough and stayed settled enough to really justify finding like local doctors and stuff. So I was looking over something, and I found a loophole with my taxes that I think might help me for 2026. So I've never been able to write off medical expenses. And that's because you can only write off medical expenses that exceed a certain percentage of your income. But the problem is, like, that would be really high. And I suppose if I was putting a lot of money into medical stuff, I might hit that threshold, but I don't, because I am not putting that money in there. But I found a loophole that I'm going to use for 2026 that should save me on taxes a little bit. So I found out that you are allowed to write off travel expenses to a certain extent to get to medical appointments. And those medical expenses are included in that amount of medical expenses, like to get you up to that percentage, or like, and whatever's over that percentage of your income you can write off. Well, basically what I found out is that you can write off $50 of a hotel stay. So obviously no hotel only costs $50, but you can write off $50 of it, and the part of your travel that that is for the medical expense. So let's say in January, let's say I go home to go to the dentist. Well, I can write off like my Uber, my flight back, my Uber back, and $50 for one night at the hotel. Anything in addition to that, like the rental car or my additional hotel night stays, I can't write that off. But what I'm saying is, I found the loophole is that while the IRS does require that it be medical expenses and it be for certain things, they don't have any restrictions on where you go to the doctor. So if I fly from New Hampshire to Ohio to go to the doctor, that obviously increases my expenses a lot. And I'm going there because that's the dentist I've had for 10 years. That's where all my records are and all of that. But it's not like it's required that you go to a reasonably located doctor or whatever. So if the travel expenses to get to the doctor help put me over that threshold where I'm able to then write off medical expenses, that would help on my 2026 taxes, I guess is what I'm saying. And presumably there could be 3 medical travel things in 2026. I would say 1 in January for the dentist. Then that would also put me again for July, right? Because 6 months out would be my next cleaning. So that would be a second trip in July. And then at some point, well, I don't know when, but at some point during the year, I need to get an eye exam. And my eye doctor is also in Ohio. So I haven't had an eye exam since 2021, and I just keep renewing it. There's a way you can renew it online. I just keep renewing it. So, I mean, I'm like completely blind without contacts, but having them in, even if they're maybe an outdated prescription, I don't know if they are or not, but if they are not as strong as they need to be, it's a heck of a lot better than not being able to see anything. So I've just kept renewing them, and that's where they are now. But yeah, so on top of doing other things to cut my taxes so that I can get caught up on taxes, that's just another thing that I've thought of where I can potentially have some additional write-offs. I'm also going to go through my my crypto accounts and my investment accounts, and I'm going to sell off a lot of things I've lost money on to offset my income with capital losses. So, I mean, these are also just ways I'm working on getting caught up with the IRS. Which, by the way, the first automatic payment came out 2 days ago. I am officially on a payment plan with them now. So that's another $122 a month to pay out, but it keeps me from getting garnished or any liens. Alright, that's the last comment. Okay, so Ashy Fox is still in first place with 250 XP. We Are About to Die Salute You is in second place with 150. Fresh Lights, third place with 100. TM USA at 75. John, I guess, is tied at 75. It is freezing in this room, guys. I'm gonna put my coat on. Hold on a second. This is not my heavy jacket. It's my old heavy jacket. So it's now the penultimate heavy jacket. But I've had this since 2013, but it is so warm. And yeah. So anyway, it is definitely warm. And I don't know why it's so cold in this building. But anyway. So far into November, I have survived New England cold. And maybe if I learn how to properly dress myself and get the right clothes, maybe I can learn how to live where it's cold. That would be advantageous. So, we'll see if that happens. I'm working on that. And basically, does it seem like whoever is up there flushes the toilet, like, way too frequently? I don't know. But anyway, probably through December, January, maybe even February, I'll still be buying, like, cold winter gear. And of course, it's stuff that I can use for subsequent years as well. And then, if it's anything like last year, it warms up here in June. So probably April or May, should probably start figuring out some warm clothes. Like, I didn't have shorts at all last year because, well, that was like a whole story. But I didn't have any shorts. I should probably get shorts for summer. And then I should probably I may just exclusively start wearing, like, Nike, it's like the Legend dry fit tee, just like the standard Nike workout tee, just because they fit well. And in the summer, this is gross, but like, ever since I had that rapid weight loss in 2021, I like sweat profusely. It's not everywhere. It's just my chest. I don't know what is going on, but it's done it since then. And so, you know, I don't really want to wear cotton shirts anymore because I feel like I'm always, yeah, this is too gross. I shouldn't be talking about this, but it would be better for me to wear like a dry fit material in the summer. So, I only have one. I have literally one workout t-shirt that I bought like 3.5 years ago that I wear every day when I work out. So I suppose I'm justified in getting a few more. But yeah, it sucks. I feel like I hate spending money, and then like to get good quality things that are gonna last, they're expensive. And I've realized that all the clothes I've ever had have just been like middle of the road. Like this. This is just a plain cotton t-shirt. My whole life, I've just worn that year round. Same with the jeans, just regular jeans. You know, sometimes in the summer I wear shorts, but a lot of times I wear jeans in the summer too. And it's like, I'm used to wearing the same clothes basically year round. And then if it gets cold, you just throw a jacket on top. Well, now I'm learning I should probably dress for the weather, whether it be hot or cold. And that's all new to me. It's like new stuff to learn. But then I also have to figure out, like, money. Gotta get money on that. Fresh Light says, does your college canteen on the campus not have Thanksgiving meal? I don't know what a college canteen is. But nothing on campus would have anything on Thanksgiving Day because, well, the school's closed because it's a federal holiday. Well, state holiday, and it's a state university. We will not have food service in the house. We have a chef in the house, but we won't have food service because he gets the holidays off as well and the school breaks. So off the top of my head, I think the guys are gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Some of them are leaving early. The parking lot was pretty bare actually today when I left. But yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they'll all be gone. And chef will be gone those days that the guys are gone. And I know my national headquarters is closed on Thanksgiving and Black Friday. So it's like kind of like an emergency only on-call thing for them. But yeah. So basically nothing in town. Well, that's the other thing too. I live in a college town, so when the university is closed, most of the other things in town are also closed. So, like even normal restaurants and stuff, if the university's not in session, they'll close those. If I go to Dover or I go to Portsmouth, they're not really that connected to the university. They're like normal towns where normal people live there and don't operate around the school schedule. So that would be more of where something would be open. But I will have to look into like what exactly would be open. Let's see something. I don't even see any difference. Oh, it gets rid of my forehead wrinkles. That's literally it. Okay. There's a new button they added to the streaming interface. It's just called Retouch. Well, anyway, guys, I guess we can hang out here for a few more minutes, just see if anybody has any more questions or anything else to say. I'm pretty sure that I've said most of what I have to say. Hopefully go on a trip later this week. And then I'm planning on a trip home in early January. And then basically, I told you guys the video schedule. I'll also be planning trips home over spring break, and then sometime in maybe like late May, early June. And then in July, I'll have my annual work conference. I'll have to travel for that, but I don't know where it's at yet. Maybe Chicago again. And then I will travel home one more time in August before school starts. That's the plan. That's the plan. We'll see how that works out, but that'll get me a few times I can get a haircut from my haircut dude when I'm in town, and hopefully get into the dentist and the eye doctor and all those things when I'm there. Get back on track with that. Gives me a little bit of time to actually work on my storage unit, make some progress with that, and yeah, I mean, maybe even sell a few of the things if I get the chance to. Which actually, with that, I am planning on taking at least a week, if not 2 weeks off over summer. So that's going to be either June or early August. And the reason for that, well, primarily so I have time to work on things down there, but also I found a cheap place to stay. I'm not going to be able to do it right now, but the university down there, Ohio University, they'll actually let me stay in the dorms, and it's cheaper than a hotel. It's like they have these old dorms that I think are scheduled to get torn down within the next couple of years because they're right now building a new dorm to replace them. And so they're not actually using them, but they rent them out for special events like Halloween weekend and things like that, but also over the summer. And so they have like daily and weekly rates. So that's the plan for summer, so that I can afford to stay home for like 2 weeks. We'll see how that goes. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to plan in the meantime, but that's what I'm planning right now. All right, well, I don't see any more comments. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it for now. I'm super tired, and I have so much to do today. This is literally the first thing I got done today, so I got to pack up from this, take stuff out to the car, and then get started on doing my emails for the day. And then hopefully I get some actual work stuff done later. But we'll see about that. So anyway, guys, yeah. And do your thing for Thanksgiving. I'm going to figure out what my thing is here. Probably next week or the week after, like whenever the first week of December is, I'll have that video up for you about the student loan update over the last 5 years. And then we'll just have to figure out when to do the live stream for December so it doesn't interfere with Christmas. But I'll probably post something in the community tab about that. And yeah, after that I'll be busy in January doing the end of the year and beginning of the year videos. So, all right. Well, I just got to get through the next few weeks. So, just look out for that video from me. It's going to be a long one, and it'll at least give you updates on where I'm at now with my student loans. So, just look forward to that, and that should be up in like a week or two. All right, see you guys later.